"I never meant for anyone to find out this way," she whispered, her voice breaking as she clutched the hospital gown to her chest, the angry red surgical scars exposed across her side. I stood frozen in the doorway, the maintenance request form slipping from my fingers. In that moment, everything I thought I knew about Victoria Hayes, the untouchable CEO of Hayes Innovations, shattered before my eyes. But I couldn't have imagined how this accidental discovery would change both our lives forever. My name is Ethan Miller. 6 months ago, I was just the new maintenance supervisor at Hayes Innovations, a single dad struggling to provide for my 10-year-old daughter Lily after her mother walked out on us 3 years ago. Victoria Hayes was just the intimidating CEO who rarely acknowledged the existence of staff like me. Now, as I sit beside her hospital bed holding her hand while she sleeps, I realize how quickly life can change when you see someone's truth behind the mask they wear for the world. It started on a Tuesday afternoon. The executive floor had reported issues with the ventilation system, and since my team was short-staffed, I took the job myself. I'd been told Ms. Hayes was in meetings all afternoon, so her office would be empty. I knocked anyway, following protocol, and hearing no response, used my master key to enter. The main office was empty, but as I approached her private bathroom to check the vent there, I heard a soft gasp. The door was slightly ajar, and before I could announce myself, I saw her, Victoria Hayes, the woman known for her steel spine and razor-sharp business acumen, struggling to change a dressing on what was clearly a post-surgical wound. Her designer blouse lay discarded on the counter, and in the mirror, I could see her face contorted in pain. When our eyes met in that mirror, the look of absolute horror on her face made my stomach drop. "I'm so sorry," I stammered, backing away. "I didn't know." "Get out," she hissed, but as she turned too quickly, she winced and nearly collapsed. Instinct took over, and I rushed forward to steady her. "Please," she said, her voice suddenly small, nothing like the commanding tone I'd heard in company meetings. "Please don't tell anyone." That moment in the bathroom began an unlikely connection between us. Victoria had been diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer 6 months earlier but had told no one at the company. She'd scheduled treatments around meetings, worn carefully selected outfits to hide weight loss, and applied makeup to disguise the pallor of her skin. Her entire life had become a performance of strength while she fought a private battle. Why keep it secret? I asked her later that week, after awkwardly offering to help change her dressing when I noticed her struggling again. Victoria's eyes, usually sharp with calculation, softened with vulnerability. "The board has been looking for any excuse to push me out. My father built this company, and I promised him I'd protect his legacy. If they knew I was sick, they'd claim I couldn't lead effectively. I've worked too hard to let that happen." As a single father who'd hidden my own struggles to appear strong for my daughter, I understood more than Victoria realized. Gradually, I became her unlikely confidant. I'd check on her between maintenance rounds, bringing her ginger tea when the nausea from chemo hit, or simply sitting quietly in her office when she needed someone to witness her pain without judgment. One evening, when Victoria had to cancel a dinner meeting due to unexpected fatigue, I impulsively invited her to join Lily and me for our Friday pizza night. To my surprise, she accepted. Watching Victoria laugh at Lily's animated stories about 5th-grade drama, I saw a different woman emerge from behind the CEO facade. Lily, with a child's intuition, seemed to sense Victoria needed gentleness. When Victoria complimented my daughter's science project displayed on our refrigerator, Lily beamed. "Dad says I'm smart like my mom, but brave like him," she announced proudly. Victoria's eyes met mine across the table. "Your dad is one of the bravest people I know," she said softly, and something shifted between us. As weeks passed, Victoria's condition worsened. The treatments weren't working as hoped, and she began missing more days at the office. Rumors circulated. I overheard executives speculating about substance abuse or mental breakdown. Each whisper felt like a personal betrayal, knowing the truth she fought so hard to protect. The crisis came when Victoria collapsed during a board meeting. I was changing a light fixture in the hallway when the commotion erupted. They carried her out, pale and unconscious, and I followed the ambulance to the hospital, my heart pounding with fear. At the hospital, no one questioned my presence, the staff assumed I was family. When Victoria regained consciousness and saw me sitting beside her bed, tears filled her eyes. "They'll know now," she whispered. "Everything I've fought for." I took her hand, surprising myself with my boldness. "Then we fight differently. Together." The next weeks brought seismic changes. Victoria's diagnosis became public, but instead of weakness, she showed the world what true strength looked like. She appointed a temporary CEO during her most intensive treatment phase, a brilliant woman she'd been mentoring, while maintaining oversight of key decisions. To everyone's surprise, the company's stock rose. Employees rallied around her with support. The narrative transformed from potential scandal to inspiration. Through it all, Victoria became a fixture in our small apartment. She helped Lily with homework while I cooked dinner. On good days, we took walks in the park. On bad ones, we watched movies under blankets, Victoria's head sometimes resting on my shoulder when the pain medication made her drowsy. "Why are you doing all this?" she asked me one evening after Lily had gone to bed. "You barely knew me before." I considered my answer carefully. When my wife left, I thought I had to be perfect, never show Lily I was struggling or afraid. It was exhausting, and I was so alone. When I saw you in that bathroom, I recognized that same loneliness. No one should face their battles alone, Victoria. Not even CEOs. 6 months after that accidental discovery, Victoria's doctors delivered cautious good news: the cancer was responding to treatment. The road ahead remained long and uncertain, but for the first time, hope felt tangible. On a crisp autumn evening, Victoria invited Lily and me to her home, a place she'd never welcomed anyone before. As Lily explored the garden with wonder, Victoria took my hand. "I've spent my life building walls to protect myself," she said quietly. "It took cancer and a maintenance supervisor with kind eyes to show me that protection can become a prison." I squeezed her hand gently. "And it took a stubborn CEO to show a single dad that asking for help isn't weakness." Victoria's recovery journey continues, with setbacks and victories. She returned to work part-time, her authority somehow enhanced rather than diminished by her openness about her health struggles. The company implemented new support programs for employees facing serious illness, inspired by her experience. As for us, we're taking each day as it comes. Lily has declared Victoria her bonus mom, a title that brought tears to Victoria's eyes the first time she heard it. Our unlikely family isn't defined by traditional boundaries, but by the choice we make each day to face life's challenges together rather than alone. Sometimes the most profound connections begin in our most vulnerable moments. When the masks we wear for the world fall away, we discover that our shared humanity, our fears, our courage, our capacity for compassion, creates bonds stronger than any difference that might divide us. If you've ever felt alone in your struggles or afraid to let others see your vulnerability, remember that authentic connection often begins when we're brave enough to be seen as we truly are. Sometimes the people who change our lives appear in the most unexpected ways, at the moments we least expect but most need them. If this story touched your heart, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to our channel for more stories that celebrate the resilience of the human spirit. Your support helps us continue sharing these moments of connection that remind us we're never truly alone in our journeys. Thank you for being part of our community of storytellers and listeners, where every experience matters and every voice deserves to be heard.